Romancing the Dungeon is intended for mature audiences, as this show contains adult themes. But not those kind of adult themes. Just some sensitive stuff that some audience members may find upsetting. Content warnings for specific episodes can be found in episode descriptions.
Tell me why I'm so alone when I know you're here with me.
You're listening to Romancing the Dungeon, a soft-core D&D podcast about heroes navigating their daily lives while looking for love in a world full of peril, monsters, and heartbreakers.
Psst. Psst. Hey. Hey, you. How do you know the beloved? Family? Friend? Foe? Lover?
What?
Cat got your tongue. Okay. So where were you when it all went south?
Ma'am, I'm just an usher.
I remember it like it was 3 days ago. There was that huge explosion. People screaming. And that horde of undead. Hey, why are you looking at me like I got two heads? Oh, I see. Well, my eyes are up here, sir.
No, wait, I wasn't.
Like I was saying, it all happened 3 days ago when Hephaestus finally got back to Tezrab with some new squeeze on her arm. And what a squeeze. Are you lonely, miserable, or just plain horny? Well, you've taken the first steps to solving your problems. At least your dating ones. Welcome to D8. Devoted, desired, dreamy or dirty. Dapper dates for dejected daters. My name is Roz Graypurse, founder, CEO, and love wizard, and author of the new cookbook, Meals for One. Feed your soul and your whole. Working on that title. Question, insert number here. What's the best piece of advice you could give to anybody?
Well, I suppose my piece of advice is kind of practical. So, if you were stuck in a room or you needed to get into your house if you'd lost your keys. So if you needed to break through a door, I'd recommend getting a decoder lockpick. But then if you're finding that a little bit too tricky, you just need a piece of thin metal and you can wedge it between the window frames of your house to lift the latch up.
I think you may have admitted to a second felony.
The best piece of advice I can give anybody is go fuck yourself. Honestly, it's so good for you.
And healthy.
Marilla always used to say to me, don't be silly, wrap your willy. Now, I don't know what she meant by that, but, I mean, that's all I got to work with.
So my grandma Mabel always told me to make sure to wrap it up. And, I always take pride in my gift presentation, but now I'm starting to think that's not what she meant.
Gay sex. We don't joke about that around here.
I mean, I've always considered my dick to be a present.
Yes, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Clap.
I would say if you're going to do something, give it your all. Failure only really reflects poorly on you if you didn't put the effort in the first place.
Practical.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like I really, salvaged the tone of it, maybe.
Some might say ruined it, but, go ahead.
It's fine.
Hephaestus and Kyle, you stand about 4 or 5 miles from the city when over Kyle's shoulder, Hephaestus, you just see this flash of green light and then the wind just rushes towards you as a shockwave from the city just erupts, and you see smoke and green flames just explode in the distance, lighting up the night sky. The city of Tezrab is on fire.
So I just kind of stand there and stare at it for a second, and then I kind of just slap him on the side, and I'm like, "Did you say you could fly? Can we go? We need to go. We need to go."
Not necessarily that fast. You mean go in the direction of the fire and the burning?
Yes, that's where we're going. That's Tezrab.
Oh, couldn't get you to go anywhere near fire not just an hour ago. That's fine.
I produce flame in both my hands, and I'm like, "Near fire? We can go near fire."
Okay, come on. No, I can't. I can't fly. I can't fly right now. I already did the thing once today. Let's go. You have to use your legs. Come on.
Then why did you say that? And I just start running.
You just take off.
I just start going
in the direction of the city. Kyle, you're following behind.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Why
sure.
not?
I got to run down.
Sounds fun.
All right.
Hephaestus, you're approaching from the northern gates of the city. This is where it's the warehouse district, where a lot of traders from Galeshire would be coming. It's the main road out of Tezrab that connects it with some of the other larger towns and indeed the capital city of Galeshire. Along the way, give me a perception check, actually. And you can do it as well, Kyle, if you wish.
Okay.
9.
18.
Okay, so the opposite of that. Hephaestus, you were just in a... What the fuck has happened? Like, did Marilla make... Did she bake again? You're not seeing anything but the flames and the city engulfed in them. Kyle, as you're running around you to the north, in the distance, the fields and the wildlands beyond, you see shadowy figures just sort of stumbling through the dark. And on the side of the road, you've just passed you recognize the uniform. You see a soldier from the Galeshire army dead on the ground. He seems to have been beaten to death.
Okay, so contact, I guess, enemies up there in the dark. Definitely going this way, yes?
Yeah, no, this is the direction we need to go. What do you mean enemies?
Well, I assume this thing's dead. Someone's
There was an
enemy.
explosion.
No, this thing's bludgeoned to death.
Kyle points down at the body just off the road, kind of down a small embankment, and you see the body of a soldier, a human.
I stop and I look at it for a second, and I look back up at Kyle, and I'm like, well, then you better keep an eye out, and I just start running again.
Kyle is like looking back and forth either side and is like, okay, I thought I was doing that. Anyway, that's fine.
You continue running on down the road, and I'm going to roll on the encounter table.
Ooh, is this D&D or something?
What? So, Kyle, you keep an eye to the north and the woods, and like again these shuffling figures. When from the tree line where the wildlands meet where the fields and the wildlands meet the edge of the forest, you hear, both of you, something like a tree snapping, like just a trunk breaking, as a larger shadow comes barreling out of the woods, swinging a large hammer. And Kyle, you see it because it just smacks it into one of those shadowy figures. That goes flying into the distance with a sickening thud and crack, as charging towards both of you, an ogre zombie. Roll for
Sorry.
initiative.
A fucking what now?
17.
9.
Oh, great. Kyle, you're up first.
Oh, geez. Okay, that's the worst position to be in, arguably. Is going to, first of all, I mean, safe to assume he has, like, in running towards this city, has strapped his shield and stuff on, right?
Yeah.
He's kitted out?
Yeah.
Cool. I think, first of all, is
No, you
going
decided to strip
to-
naked.
Yeah, freeing
Also
in nature.
fitting, yeah.
That works.
That is how I traditionally go into battle.
If you could leave the heels on, that'd be great.
Is going to just tentatively cast Firebolt out at the ogre zombie. It's 120 feet, I assume, is within range.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the zombie is probably about 100 feet away.
Cool. Okay, that is going. Oh, that's a crit.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, okay.
3 and a 2, so 5 on the dice.
Okay,
Damn it,
so
James.
Hephaestus, you on hearing this, you turn and immediately you just see Kyle hold up one hand, extend just a fist, opens it up, and immediately from his fingertips, a flame conjures, and then like a bolt from a crossbow, from his fingertips shoots 5 bolts of fire that merge and flurry through the dark across the field, singeing the tops of some of the grass and weeds and brush, and then illuminating up the area around you as you see dozens of shuffling corpses of the undead, skeletons, zombies, ghouls, ghasts, and just strike this large ogre zombie. It's just going to continue moving. Like I said, it's 100 feet away, so it's not going to reach you this turn. Hephaestus.
So I just stop and you said they were surrounded.
They're still like they're not on the
ways
road.
away?
Yeah, so
Okay.
you haven't been surrounded yet or
Okay.
anything like that.
Yeah, so I just like look around and I'm just like, I don't have time for this, and I fire a good old trusty Eldritch Blast at him.
Okay.
He's big, right?
What did you roll?
Sorry, I had my spell attack. Yeah,
Yeah.
17. I should hit.
Okay. That yeah, it hits.
Yeah.
Okay, roll for damage.
Oh yeah, that thing. It's a 4.
Okay. Again, Hephaestus, you draw Eldritch magic around you. It's the first thing you go to.
Yeah.
It's the thing you're comfortable with. It's there, but it's thin, and the magic kind of takes a moment to kind of respond to you. And you feel the Eldritch energy kind of form in your hands as you throw it free, and a blast of Eldritch fire just flurries behind the firebolt, strikes the ogre straight into the neck.
I just go, oh, I did it.
It continues to trundle forward. It is Kyle.
Do you know any holy spells, magic, anything like that in your whole repertoire arsenal? No?
I don't really know anything anymore. I was stripped of my powers a few days ago. I probably should have let you know that that's the thing that's happening.
Cool. Oh, great. That's great for us right now.
Sometimes I can do that thing I just did.
Kyle, give me an insight check.
Okay. That is a 12.
She's like, Hephaestus is not lying, but as she's saying this, you can sense magical ability within her.
Okay, we're going to have to work on that. For now, there's way too many of these, so let's keep going towards the city, and Kale will start to like back up and run and try and keep the bit of distance between the ogre and everything else around them, and head in the direction of the city. You will also cast. He's going to attempt to cast Dissonant. Oh crap! No, Dissonant Whispers is 60 feet. That's no good to me. We need long range. I think he's just going to have to stick with.
Yeah, it's about because it moved on its turn, so it's 70 feet away from me.
Yeah. Okay. We are going to have to stick with Firebolt for now. So, that is 11.
That hits.
Oh, okay. Great. Love that. 2d10 damage. That is 8 plus 6 is 14.
Hephaestus, as you cast this out and you tell Kyle that there's not a whole lot else that you can do, he just starts running. He just runs right past you. You know, as he shouts over his shoulder that they're going to have to work on that. Again, you see the edges of his hand light up as fire forms, and again 5 bolts of fire shoot from his fingertips, coalesce into one and strike the ogre zombie. It continues. It's barreling towards you both. It's drawing, like by its side, it's just kind of drawing and occasionally swinging up that large hammer. And Hephaestus, is your action.
I just look after Hale and I'm like, wait for me, and I bolt.
All right. Are you doing any other action?
No, I'm just running.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want both of you to give me athletics checks. at this point, because I want to see if you can outrun the zombie. Ogre
She's
zombie.
tiny.
Come on, Vesta.
9.
Okay, Kyle.
8.
So that's a 17 for the ogre zombie.
Oh no!
So it's going to stay on your tail, like
Okay.
it's following you the entire time, but you're still running towards the city. As you do, you just see those shadowy forms. There's more of them, and as the walls of the city draw closer, and you see the gates there in front of you, you just see this crowd of undead hammering and banging on the large wooden gates, with an ogre zombie following up right behind you. Overhead, you hear soldiers shouting and screaming and firing arrows down below. They're talking about hold the gate. If the gate falls, they'll get into the district and they have to evacuate. They need time. Fia and Nate, the blast knocked both of you clear away from the windows. The living area of Burbage and Sons is just in a mess. All that hard work, Fia, gone to nothing.
God damn it. There's going to be leftovers for days.
But now it's super bohemian.
Open plan.
It's open plan bohemian.
Ooh, is it ever?
The windows have been completely blown in. The furniture, the table, everything is just knocked over to one side. Both of your ears are ringing. You can hear screaming outside, people shouting and roaring. There's something happened. There was a flash of green light, then there was just this wave of energy that shockwaved, and that's the last thing either of you remember before you were basically knocked off your feet and slammed into the wall.
Can I try and get up?
Yeah, you're
Yeah. Oh my god, you alright?
Oh, yeah, fuck. Jesus.
whoever he is. Fuck that guy.
And I just said, Quillo? Because he went into his room. Any response?
There's none.
I run to the door to see if he's in there. He's gone.
Quilla's not in his room. And then suddenly, Fia, you remember that your mom had gone outside to get some air. You saw Hephaestus leave. You saw Marilla and Clodagh leave.
They all went outside. We need to go find them and see if they're okay.
Marilla. Yeah. Let's. Yeah. Have you got everything?
Yeah. I've got everything.
You're heading outside? Okay. Fia, as you run downstairs, Nate following behind, there's an intense heat in on the air. You can smell smoke, you can hear people shouting and roaring, and a platoon of city guard rushes right by you. Two of them are carrying one man. You see this human man, probably middle-aged, and he looks badly injured.
Leave him. Come on, we gotta go find everyone. We gotta find Marilla.
What way do you think they went back?
They went back. We need to. Let's go to the Copper Rabbit.
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna head to the Copper Rabbit?
Yeah.
It's not a particularly long sojourn from Burbage and Sons to the Copper Rabbit. They're in the kind of the same district. They're both in Barefoot Alley. But as you round the corner, you see that the building, it was an abandoned house. Like some of the urchins, some of the other homeless people in the city would have squatted in it occasionally. It has completely collapsed in on itself, and it has filled the alleyway. And the path that you would have taken to the Copper Rabbit is completely sealed off.
Can we climb over it, or...?
You can give me an athletics check.
Okay. Oh, great. That's a 5.
Okay.
And 16.
Fia, as you go to climb it, you see that it's a building that fell in on itself. It's not like a neatly stacked pile of rubble or anything like that. It just kind of falls out from under your hands. Like it's hard to get a good kind of footing. Nate, you are running off entire adrenaline. You know Marilla left. You know Marilla said she was going back to the Copper Rabbit. And you crawl hands and knees up to the top of it. You can see from here, kind of looking out over the collapsed wall from this building. You can see out the other side, and just kind of about 2 laneways up ahead, you can see the Copper Rabbit. But here on top of this mound, you have a good view of the slum district and the warehouse district, and even towards the the rooftops of the city around you. You see that the western gates that lead into Tezrab city, predominantly used by farmers who live in the villages and towns outside the city and the outlying kind of forests and meadowlands. The northwestern gate is on fire. Like there's just towers of smoke billowing out from it. And you see some of the alleyways and laneways are completely blocked with buildings that collapsed. There's people screaming, crying. There's people trying to being pulled out from under the rubble. You can see the Copper Rabbit. It's taken some damage, but like Merla takes care of her building. Like it's her home as well as her place of business. It's reinforced. It's good. On the other side of this, there's a small fire burning.
Okay, I'll just turn back and put my hand out for here you go. Come on, let's go.
You're gonna head over.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you clearing the fire?
Is there are there like walls
Yeah.
on the side? I suppose I'm just gonna try and like do sort of a Prince of Persia like
Parkour.
Yeah.
Okay. Acrobatics.
Athletics. 25.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, you took your class in your
You're
cult.
welcome.
And Fia,
Following suit, doing
Yeah.
the same thing.
we'll see.
That's a 10.
She did not take the class.
So, Nate, you brace yourself and just run as far as you get as much footing as you can and run. And it's okay. It's not a side wall run thing or anything like that, but you kind of throw yourself from the mound of rubble, and as you fall, you basically press off the wall and kind of just drag yourself forward a little bit. You feel the fire kind of kiss at you and the heat below, and you land. And again, you almost twist your ankle as the rubble kind of shifts under you. And when you turn, you see Fia just fear on her face as she throws herself from the rubble and lands clear of the fire. Takes 1 damage as you land on your knees and hands, and you feel kind of like a shard of glass cut and stick.
Okay, I kind of stand up and like rub my hands from the dirt that I got, obviously.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay,
Like,
come on,
and just.
You are you make it to the Copper Rabbit. There's no lights on. The door's kind of ajar when you approach the building, and you just hear inside as Marilla rounds the corner, and she's got like 2 large leather bags on either side of her that are just filled with bottles.
What are you doing?
Well, what are you doing?
I was coming looking for you.
Well, I'm going out to deal with this.
What?
There's a problem. The explosion.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to help.
And she's got like literally like the 2 bags filled with potion bottles.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, give me a bag. I'll.
You are not hurting my babies.
Also, I think you might blow yourself up.
Okay. Well, is there anything I can do to help, or?
Well, I'm going to try and help with the they're talking about evacuating people. I'm making my way to the command. You know, the military have set up in the market square.
Where are the kids? Where's Clodagh?
And you just suddenly see Marilla's face go white. Clodagh was at the.
But
And,
she
and then
left.
Marilla just drops the bags.
Ike. Yes.
And she just starts running upstairs.
Yeah, we'll follow.
Yeah, while she's gone upstairs, I'll go search the kitchen.
Ike and Jess's room is empty. And Marilla just starts to check every other room just in case. The kitchen, there's no sign of them either.
They're not here.
Marilla?
They're not here.
Wait. Clodagh was at the party.
That she wasn't at the party. But the kids were meant to be babysitting each other. That's how that works.
Clearly.
I mean, that's responsible.
Yeah.
Oh, you're really going to pull that?
I guess we could just head to the market square. Like, hopefully they'll head there too. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I don't have any better ideas.
Okay, you two go to the square. I'm going to see if anyone else needs help, and I'm going to look for Jess and Ike and Clodagh. Okay, and I'll meet you at the square
Okay.
or here. If I'm not there and you're not there, then I'm going to be here.
Okay.
Okay.
No way that's going to go wrong.
For the first time, Nate, Marilla is like rattled. Like, I mean, she was weirdly enough, she was kind of excited when you first came in, and she was like, "Oh, a bomb went off," and I didn't do it. And then when the shock dissipated, like when you kind of made her realize that the kids aren't here and Clodagh's not here, then that sort of excitement dropped and became fear and panic, and she now seems genuinely shaken. The both of you are going to head to the command.
Yeah.
Marilla kind of barrels out after you. You just hear bottles clinking. She's like, "Oh, no!" And she's now kind of hugging the two bags to her side as close as she can as she waddles out behind you. Clodagh, you wake up. Your head is ringing, and you find Jess just kind of like sniveling over you and like trying to shake you awake. Clodagh, oh, I can't do this on my own, Clodagh.
It's okay. I'm here. What happened?
Well, there was the light, and then there was, I don't know, and Jess just points, and Ike is under, and there's just like a load of rubble. I told y'all this was going to be a toughie.
You're a fucking asshole. You're such a dick. She immediately scrambles to her feet and is like, "Are you okay? Okay, help me." And then she runs over to the rubble and tries to start like pulling it off. Like,
Give me a athletics. Jess is going to help you, so you get advantage because the two of you are kind of pulling together. You have advantage.
oh, I know.
Oh, okay.
What's with you and getting doubles?
18.
You just start, like, when Jess tells you that Ike is under the rubble, you just start pulling and grabbing at, like, just chunks of rock and debris and timber. And there you find just kind of a snag of black cloth. And you remember the hood that Ike was wearing. The cloak.
Ike, can you hear me?
Yeah?
Okay, I need you to stay really still.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and pull you out.
From where?
She just kind of turns and looks over her shoulder.
Ike is standing, like, in the other corner.
You little! And then she's just gonna... What? Oh my God. Jess?
I didn't know. I thought then the thing came down and I just...
It's okay. Look at me. You're both okay, right? No ouchies? Everything's good?
And like, Ike points at like a huge gash on her arm. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm good.
Oh God.
It's gonna make a mean scar."
Okay, she's just gonna see that the alleyway is blocked off. Is it like a dead end, or it's just we have to only go this one way?
You are trapped as you kind of start to take in your surroundings. There's the building collapsed where you were standing. The ceiling from one half, as the building fell, it slammed into another. Just kind of a quick glance around you, you find yourself completely walled in, and it looks as if the structure isn't going to hold. Like, it looks as if it's barely standing.
Okay. Can I do like a perception check for like the most obvious escape route?
Sure. I mean, you can. It doesn't mean you're going to find one.
16.
In one corner where the building has kind of lopsided and it's kind of fallen in, you see kind of a gap that is big enough for Jess and Ike to get through, but not for you.
Okay. I'm gonna take both of their hands and kind of spin them to look at me and be like, "Look, I need you guys to be brave.
Okay.
You got to get back to the Copper Rabbit and just stay there. I will come get you. I need to figure out a way to get out, but you guys can fit through here. So just run as fast as you can. Don't look back, and just hide. Okay?"
Jess is just, "Yeah, okay, I can do that." And Ike is like,
Jess, You need to be brave, okay?
This is brave.
I'm just gonna wipe his tears with my thumbs.
It's mostly snot.
And then wipe it on my chest.
Delicious. Jess just kind of squeezes through, like it's a tight squeeze for him being a little bit older than Ike, and Ike just kind of stands and watches him as he does it, and as he clears the other side, Ike turns around and just like gives you a hug, and she's like, "Coda, you have to come home."
I will. I promise.
And Ike just squeezes, like literally, like "Nyeh, there we go," and out through the gap. And she just kind of waves at you, and then she grabs Jess by the hand, and they run towards the copper rabbit.
Okay. I'm gonna try and put my weight on some of the rubble to see if I can start to climb it, and like follow them in that same general direction.
Okay.
What'll I roll?
Athletics.
9.
You steel yourself as you look at the wall, and you see that there is, if you climb, if it holds and you climb it, you could climb out the other side. You might have to fall or drop the other side, but at least you won't be trapped. And taking a sharp breath, you plunge your hands into the rock and start to climb up. And then you hear a rumbling sound. And as your foot loses grip, you see that a chunk of the ceiling starts to cave inwards the top. Hephaestus and Kyle.
This is so fucking stupid. I'm getting everyone killed. Can I try to lure the ogre zombie in to whack away the undead at the door?
Okay, how are you doing that?
So they're not paying attention. If I back up against them as quietly as I can so they don't notice me, stealthily as I can, and just sort of, I don't know, like catch the ogre zombie's eye and wait for him to come at me, and then definitely jump out of the way in time.
Okay. I'm going to say yes to this. Kyle, because we're not technically in combat at the moment.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I mean, we can say that this is something that you're talking about.
Sure.
I'm assuming you're going to tell
I
Kyle.
say that's my plan. Actually, no, I don't. Fuck that.
You're not going to tell
Hephaestus doesn't talk about things. She's just like, this is what I'm doing.
You're not going to tell
Okay,
him.
she's not telling you.
You're not telling him. Okay, that's
No.
grand. That means when it goes horribly wrong.
I imagine you do see me sort of backing up
Yes.
quietly into the zombie crowd.
Yes, so Kyle, you see, Hephaestus, if you want to give me your stealth.
I really don't. Oh, that's a 5.
Okay, Kyle, you watch as Hephaestus backs up slowly to the wall of the dead that are banging on the gate, trying to break it down. And you just see kind of like fuck it look on her face. And over your shoulder, you see the ogre zombie fast approaching. What are you doing?
He is kind of aghast and turns, and in your mind, Hephaestus, you hear Kyle say, "What the fuck are you doing? What's this? What's the plan?"
What? The fuck is happening?
His mouth isn't moving. He's just staring at you wide-eyed, and in your head again, he's like, "Yes, it's the thing. I'll tell you about it later." What are you doing?
Okay, what? Okay, if the ogre zombie whacks these zombies, maybe we can clear the gate?
Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. He steps to the side of the road and essentially clears a path and like just dramatically like gestures towards the gate as if to like an air traffic controller like bringing a plane into land. And
Except what you're using for a metaphor here is the ogre zombie is the plane and Hephaestus is the runway.
oh, for
Okay.
sure, yeah. And again, in her mind, he says, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one, but keep in mind that it could just go clean through the gate. So good luck."
Okay.
Shit.
With its passive perception of 8, it sees you.
Okay.
I am going to roll for the undead. They also got 8. So they see you as well. Wow. So here's what's going to happen. They start grabbing you.
Okay.
Right? So they're like whatever the undead
Yeah.
do. That's stereotype. They're kind of grabbing onto you. So like a handful of them, and you see they're all humanoid. They're all corpses. They're all shuffling. It's great.
My kind of party.
It's great. Yeah, it's wonderful. You're having a great crowd. there's people below. What are you doing? And then suddenly the ogre zombie is on top of all of you. And it's gonna get a swing and a hit. It's gonna attack with it. Oh my god, if I fuck this up. If the zombie fucks this up.
Oh my god.
Okay, so that's a 19. That's the lowest it's gonna
Oh god.
Oh, I rolled 2 19s. So
Okay.
19 to hit. Hephaestus. You and the ghouls that are around you all take 14 damage. As the ogre zombie just swings straight in with its warhammer, and a chunk of the gate is cleared, and several of the ghouls are just, they're broken. Kyle, you witnessed Festa just get baseball batted by the, I mean, it worked, kind of, and then you just hear a, what the fuck is that, from the wall overhead, and you just hear, oh, my dear, that's an ogre zombie. They're quite rare. As Una Isidrim appears on the wall and draws her bow. It's okay. We can do this. And the head of her bow with a raven's skull glows with white light. Aim for the head. She just fires an arrow straight down. It strikes one of the ghouls that looks up at the shininess above, and it is just engulfed in radiant flames.
Finally, someone who knows what they're doing. Is Hephaestus down?
No. Well, Hephaestus on the ground, wishing she was down.
Not feeling great.
Actually, do you know what? Yeah, mentally he says, so how'd that go? Like telepathically he says.
I just flip him off.
Telepathically.
Oh no. No.
Kyle, give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay. 14.
As you take stock of what's happening on the wall and at the gate, and you shrug off the middle finger from Hephaestus, you feel a familiar sensation. And as you cast your eyes upwards, there in the dark, you see the numeral symbol for 3 glowing.
He narrows his eyes and looks to see if he can catch any more detail.
Yeah, you see at first, like, it's more like you're drawn to the mark, and then you see that on the hands of the woman with the raven bow, the numbers are glowing on her, the tops of her hands, and you recognize the mark of the Empress.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, let's go at it then. He draws his scimitar and, as a bonus action, casts Divine Favor, which lets it deal extra radiant damage, and is going to tear forth into the fray and attempt to throw himself onto the back of the ogre zombie.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
That is 19. So
Yep, that hits.
So 1d6 plus 2 is 8, and then it gets a d4 radiant because of the spell, which was a 4. So 12.
Recognizing the mark and who it belongs to, you're like, oh, fuck. And you throw yourself straight into the battle. It's like, oh, maybe they haven't noticed. And you throw yourself leaping upwards at the ogre. You throw yourself up and at it, and you just slash down with your scimitar. It lights up with a brilliant white light, and it just carves straight into the flesh of the ogre zombie, who lets out a bellowing roar. Hephaestus.
So can I? Okay, so I'll get up and look at them all around me and find the thing I wanna cast. So I get up and I look at them surrounding me, and I cast Arms of Hidar.
Kyle is attacking it from the back, so you're going to be hitting it from the front, so I'm going to say he's not going to get hit this time around. Not that you give a shit either way. So that is 23 for the ogre zombie. And
Why do I try?
And a 3 for the ghouls.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yay.
They take 2 damage.
Big hit.
Good
They're
thing
coming
Cal
in with the
didn't
big
catch
guns.
those fists.
Good old snake eyes.
It's more like the floppy wrists of Hadar.
Oh no!
Throwing yourself up onto your feet, Hephaestus, you just feel the rage bubbling up inside you. And roll me a d20, please.
Okay. 15.
Oh yeah, you're fine. For now. You just feel rage, just like, oh my god, if I have to listen to Kyle, and then I've just got fucking the shit kicked out of me, and the gate's not fucking open, and who the fuck is this one? It just expels straight out of you as these black tendrils just whip outwards. They lash at the ogre zombie, but they just kind of slap against it, but it doesn't do anything. And immediately it whips outwards as the ghouls are all kind of just struck, and 1 or 2 are slammed against the wall, but they are all still standing. Nate and Fia, you rush through some of the streets. You see that, again, many of them have actually fallen or have become blocked. Some are just packed with people who are like desperate to find out what's happening as a crowd. Kind of, a lot of people have the same idea of get to the market square. That's where those military guys were. And as you make your way through this throng of people, you see that there is a military camp here in the center of Tezrab. With a large tent fixed right in front of the Quill's fire. Standing there with several official-looking military-esque types. A large black dragonborn wearing full silver armor, a long white cape with blue trim, crested with the symbol of a trident and a shield. He seems to be the one in charge because everybody's listening to him. Everybody's taking orders from him. In the crowd, in rather ill-fitting armor, you spy a very familiar figure. In battle armor that may have fit him 20 years ago, you see Artur McGucket and his belly hanging out over his pants, and his little breastplate, like literally, it looks like a gorgeous crop top you might wear to Coachella now. And his helmet is on. He's standing there and he's just kind of nodding. He's nodding along when he sees the both of you, and he gestures at you.
Go over to him, I suppose.
What are you two doing here? Where's Miss Marilla?
She's got some potions. She's gonna try and start helping out, start handing potions out.
Jeez, that's Matt Marilla. What are you two? Are you here to help? We're looking for anyone that can.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were gonna meet Marilla here, but we can help for now while we're here.
Listen to Gruff. Commander Gruff, and he gives the weird military salute to himself. Everybody is looking at you, including Gruff, this dragonborn commander. Well, are we done?
What do you need?
We've all caught up. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you may have noticed the city's under attack, and that is something we would like to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are you two? You're not in the army. I mean,
No, but we want to help.
fabulous. You're able to fight. I'm assuming that those weapons aren't just accessories that young people wear.
Yeah, we can fight.
Great. Well, you have your pick. The western gates are fucked. Well, one of them is. It's gone. It's a mess, darling. It's just terrible. And you see him kind of just pick like little spectacles up off the table, and he kind of stares down at a map. The northern gates. Our patrols tell us the vast majority of this horde of the dead. Is that something that frequently happens out here?
Not that I've come across.
No.
Oh. Well, there's always a first. The city's defenses and like shuffling up in armor that looks like it's 3 sizes too big for him. You see this scrawny, pale, late middle-aged man, Monte Diahata, and he extends a hand. The city's battle plans. Yes. And he takes, he just kind of clicks his fingers, and this tiefling butler appears with like a leather bag over his shoulder, and so and he draws a piece of parchment out of it and furls it. There on it, you see a map of the city again with the 4 key entry points. Faintly scratched out of it is in case of emergency, and in brackets or parentheses under it is if the peasant folk revolt, here's what to do. And the city's plan is to evacuate the city via the lake. Gruff just looks at it and he's like, well, I mean, well, it's not the peasantry that are revolting, but nevertheless, I suppose in place of the rabble, we can just use the undead. And he takes like a half-eaten, like a rotten apple core, and he goes, "This will be the undead. We'll just use this for them." And these little pieces, and he scoops up some pebbles, and he goes, "These can be us." So we have to make sure that the gates last while we get these lovely little charming people out of the city alive, mostly. Do we feel about taking on jobs? We're all good.
Yeah.
Just give us something. We can go. Just
Well, you're not in the army. I can't tell you what to do.
Well,
where do you need us the most?
Oh, I need lots of things. I'd love a drink. And like a small little kobold appears with a little goblet, and he's, "Oh, Stefan," and always my aid. And he takes a little sip from the goblet.
I mean, look, we can go to the lake. We can make sure that it's clear for evacuation.
McGucket steps forward. Well, I reckon I might be able to handle that. I know plenty of men down there. I know plenty of boats, and they all owe me favors, so I can take care of that. I'm not really a fighter. I'm more of a lover. Well, Mrs. McGucket would say different.
Okay, fantastic, McGucket. You go to the lake. Okay, we can go to the west gate then and check out because it seems to be pretty heavy down there.
Well, look at this. And Gruff just kind of looks at Gideon. He's like, "Look at him taking charge of this.
Just
Why would you didn't really join? You should have been. You weren't in the military.
don't have time for this. Just tell us where to go, and we'll take care of it.
Pleasantries. If we lose hold of ourselves in the middle of battle, we're not.
Just go.
Yeah, west gate. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
You just got to run to the.
We're just gone.
Oh, it's the youth for today. And Monte just kind of the youth and the poor, and Chive just under his breath. You're just gonna You're running to the western gate. You follow the main road out of the square west, and then you do see where it kind of splinters into 2 larger roads, one leading to the southwestern gate and one leading to the northwestern gate. The northwestern gate is the one where you see the largest fire burning, and it's where a lot of people are shouting and roaring. The southwestern gate did not bear the brunt of the attack. Everybody give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God.
9.
14.
I'm done using these dice. 6.
Okay.
That one.
Okay. And
No,
Kyle?
no.
11.
Okay. So everybody but Nate take 3 psychic damage
Oh, fuck me.
as a piercing sound just ripples across the city, and most people are brought to their hands, are brought to their knees. You all find yourself clutching your ears as this pitch gets louder and louder, and then you just hear, and Claudia, you take double that. Sorry, 6. You just hear a voice scream in your head.
Did I hear that right?
Ella.
Ella? Like,
Oh, fuck.
I guess we keep rushing.
Well, you're right. You're either going northwest or southwest.
I suppose if Northwest is taking the most brunt, then go where the action is.
Yeah, and I like any kind of people we go past and kind of tell them like, get to the docks.
Yeah.
We cut to the southern gate, the entrance to the art and cultural district of Tezrab. Standing there in front of the gates as another horde of the dead, ghouls, zombies, skeletons, ghasts, all clamber, and soldiers and clerics from the temple continue to just wail magic down. A voice just cuts through the dark. And standing there, and just a little bit, a trickle of blood, that smolders as it bleeds from her nose. Sekhmet Tenderston walks right out onto the main southern entrance. Open the fucking gates. And the soldiers look at her like, what? And from both hands, just this radiant fire begins to burn. Nate and Fia, you arrive at the northwestern gate to see it in complete and total ruin. There are dead soldiers, city guards, civilians everywhere. A lot of the buildings here, the wall itself, when it was blown open, the rubble was sent forward, so it's smashed into some of the houses, businesses, shops, and the place is just a disaster zone. From a smouldering crater in the middle of all this, you just see throngs of the dead spill in from beyond the city wall.
Is there any more people alive, or there's
Anyone you've met on the way here, you told them to run to the docks. That's the plan, and they're all just following you.
And the ghouls are kind of encroaching.
They're coming into the city. So this gate has fallen, but you're standing here.
And there's no other guards or that alive around fighting them off.
There's a few still standing, but like most of them are badly injured. Any of the ones that can fight are fighting. The others are trying not to die.
Okay. I guess just helping out there with them as well. Like, I'm going to draw out the Raven's Talon and start firing.
Okay, give me an attack.
That's a 17 to hit
That hits.
with 9 damage.
Fia, you draw the Raven's Talon, and with a bow readied, you fire it straight into the pit. It cracks dead into the skull of a skeleton, and you just see the head just splinter open, but it continues to shuffle forward as the arrow is just buried in its skull. It doesn't move.
With that, I will cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Okay, that is a 5 for the skeletons. As the horde of skeletons that had kind of amassed into this pit, you throw out your hands and just these brilliant lights just flicker around you and then upwards. And you see for a moment everything kind of looks up, even some of the soldiers who are fighting look up. And then the ghasts, the ghouls, go back to like tearing people to pieces, while the skeletons are all just like watching on, delighted with the lovely sparkly rainbow colours in front of them.
I just look to Fia and I kind of go,
I don't know how that's... just keep firing at
You're
whatever.
just gonna
keep going.
Okay, a ghoul, these large, it's humanoid, but its limbs are slightly elongated and its tongue just kind of like flaps out of its mouth. It just hangs loose against this gnarling mash of teeth, just lumbers towards you, Fia. And I'm assuming that a 7 does not hit you.
No.
Just, it takes a swing at you, but you jump back out of its reach.
Yeah, I'm going to use skirmish for that.
Okay, I was just doing it kind of as it's more of a
Yeah,
cinematic.
but
thing.
yeah.
Okay, you move 15 feet away. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Nate, 10 to hit.
no.
Scuttling along the ground, clambering over chunks of rock, glass, and wood and rubble. At first, they look like spiders. And then you just see fingers and mottled green-grey skin barely clinging to the bone as a crawling claw scuttles along the ground and then throws itself at you violently. And more out of surprise than anything else, you throw yourself out of its way, and it just like sticks to the wall behind you, and then it scuttles around and it leers itself back almost in attack again. Clodagh.
She kind of picks herself up from after hearing the scream, and she's going to cast light, like up in the air as like a beacon, hoping someone will see it. It says I get to pick a color, so all of the fire is green. So I'm gonna say red or purple.
Okay. Roxy. You just, as the roof caved in and the rubble came out down around you and that scream ripped through the air, you heard, "Where is Ella?" And as you were overcome by it, your mind you seem to leave your body for a moment. You've connected to whatever it was that did this. And there's just rage and fear and guilt and just a bottomless pit of sadness and loneliness emanating from this source. As from it, you just see this army of the dead continue to shuffle out from the Doctor's Woods at the south of the city towards the Arts and Culture District. And then you kind of shake it off and you cast your hand up out of the rubble and a red light kind of blinks from your hand. And then you feel something grab you and start to pull. You're alive in there, right? This is if you're undead, you have to tell me.
Oh my god, I never thought I'd be so glad to hear your southern drawl.
If you could just tell Miss McGucket that too, that would be wonderful.
Absolutely. Get me the hell out of here.
You're pulled, yeah, he pulls you kind of free. Are you alright, miss?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you so much for your help.
You look like you need it. And he takes kind of a little flask from under his coat pocket.
She's gonna drink some.
It's one of my healing potions. Roll a d4 +1.
2.
+1, 3.
Okay.
Recover 3 health.
Thank you.
As you swallow a health potion that's definitely been spiked with a bit of rum. Where's Marilla? Where are them kids?
The kids. I sent the kids back to the Copper Rabbit.
Okay, well, you need to get them, and you need to get them to the docks right now.
And her heart kind of sinks when she hears the ducks, and then she's gonna nod and be like, "Okay, I can do that."
We're evacuating everybody. Everybody. You find anybody alive, able to walk, able to crawl, able to just wish themselves over there? Then you get them to the docks.
Okay, I'll be there.
He gives your hand like a bit of a squeeze, and he kind of runs in a waddle away from you, kind of clutching his helmet. As you run to the Copper Rabbit, all of you, even Kyle and Hephaestus, even on the northern gate, there is a ferocious explosion of light upwards and towards the gate as the soldiers open and the dead shuffle straight through, and Sekhmet casts Sunburst. And the city is illuminated in this brilliant light. And I get to roll 12d6 for damage.
Always showing off.
Saving the fucking city, you
Showing
jealous.
off.
Why can't Hephaestus do that?
That's more. How dare you?
And that one, their Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Wait, because I don't like doing these things to myself.
No, it's great.
It's great, do it.
Oh, now we're in support because you fucked yourself. Oh, I took your advice.
I'm suggesting triple damage.
Take your own advice, Declan. Play by the book.
Okay. So I rolled 36 damage.
Okay.
Right, on my 12d6. Brilliant white sunlight just explodes out of Sekhmet. The city is lit up, almost like a beacon, as soldiers, civilians, the undead, all of you turn and watch this light just explode outwards. As the gates open, it just violently rushes forward, and the ghouls, the ghasts, the crawling hands, the skeletons, everything standing in its way, they're engulfed and they are burnt to cinder as Sekhmet Tenderson single-handedly saves the southern gate of Tezrab.
Yay! My favorite Tinderson.
God.
Sekhmet just kind of like crumbles a little bit to her. She kind of loses her strength. She stumbles forward and she takes a couple of breaths, and the soldiers on the wall are clapping and cheering. As she kind of composes herself and she looks at the beyond the wall, her eyes fix on something in the dark as she sees something glowing in the distance. a green emerald stone flashing as something moves in the dark towards the city, and Sekhmet's face, that moment of relief, is gone, and she stirs herself to stand tall, bracing. From the shadows, Quillo Isidorm watches. Hephaestus and Kyle.
I wouldn't like to follow that.
So if you join her, Festa, she's just fallen over.
I have an owie on my boo-boo.
Oh my god. Why am I so useless?
We can Sekhmet be on our team.
So I'd like to throw a little fireball, please.
You're throwing a fireball at the ogre.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. Okay. So I look up at the top of the gate, like at the wall, and I'm like, do you want to let us in? Please?
You just hear a voice calling out, "Oh, sweetheart, no, we're not opening this gate until that." And you see, with kind of a glowing arrow pointed at it, a Shader Kai elf points at the ogre zombie who's swinging its hammer over its head. The woman looks vaguely familiar. Like, for a second there, you almost thought it was Fia.
Yeah, so I just let out like a bit of a defeated sigh, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And then I throw a fireball at the ogre.
Okay.
So
Big ol' range on fireballs, huh?
shut the fuck up.
Big ol' radius, I should say.
Ooh. 18.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
What's your AC there, Kyle?
Yeah, his AC is 18.
Okay, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah, okay,
Great.
that's fine.
Oh, wait, hang on. Can I... Wait, it's... Oh, fireball's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, to be
Fireball's
fair,
a lot.
it's not actually a fireball. Sorry, it's a produced flame. It's a baby thing. It's a
Oh
tiny
my God,
fireball.
Okay.
It's nothing.
Okay. It's produced flame. It's
It
not
hits,
fireball. Everybody
but
calm
it's
down.
just like,
I love how your sister just used the power of the fucking sun.
7 damage.
And then you went,
With the water pistol.
Like a big lighter.
Vesta just dies. Vesta just dies.
of embarrassment.
7 damage.
7 damage.
Okay. You turn and you cast Produce Flame, and immediately just a bolt of red and yellow fire shoots from your hand. And immediately you think of Sekhmet. There's the color of the fire. Like, why is it not
Blue,
Why is it
yeah.
not blue and green and black and amazing? And it's red and orange and yellow. It's fire. It looks like fucking fire.
Lame.
Yeah. It strikes the ogre into the side of the head, and it's still standing. You did 7
What a
damage.
surprise. Yeah, 7.
Una is going to take a shot from the wall. Yeah, Una nat 20'd.
Oof.
Una just, again, she draws, and immediately the head of the arrow just lights up with this brilliant white little flame. She lets it go, and it flies straight down, and it strikes the ogre into the eye. Well, it's almost dead. Finish it off. It swings its hammer, and it's gonna swing around at you, Kyle,
There.
for a 24.
Does that hit?
No, yeah, that hits.
Take 9 bludgeoning damage as it just swings around with the warhammer and just clops you, and you're sent flying into the dirt, kind of next to Hephaestus. Both of you are now covered in muck.
Welcome.
Hi, doing.
Hi.
And Kyle, it is your action.
Okay. That was less than ideal. He stands brushing himself off, which takes half of his movement, and is going to approach scimitar in hand and go for the ankles. It's 12. We know that hits.
That hits, yeah.
6 plus a d4 of radiant. 4. 10 total.
Okay.
And is going to... Is it still standing?
Yep.
I take it it's still standing.
Still standing. I mean, I would tell you that it looks like it's on its last legs, but it's a zombie. Like it looked like crap. Yeah, it looked like crap beforehand. It looks like more crap now.
and is going to bonus action attempt to do it again, like just like whirling between the two ankles, attempting to cut tendons and bring it down. Oh no, that definitely does not hit though. That's a 8.
That fucking hits.
Get out of here.
It does. They're fucking stupid.
What a squishy.
Oh boy. Less good. 5 total.
Oh, it's still up.
No.
Yeah, Kyle, you sweep the ankles with your scimitar. You see that the ogre is barely standing when another volley of arrows comes down from the soldiers above, and I'm just going to roll for them. Okay, they hit a few of the ghouls, but they're all still standing. The guards are off. They rolled a 3. Thea and Nate.
I'm going to specifically aim for a creature that's within 5 foot of either one of the guards or of Nate, so I can get my sneak attack damage onto it.
So there is the crawling hand that's attacking Nate. That
Yeah.
weird. So you can attack that.
Okay, so that is 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That is 23 damage.
Thea, you saw something kind of blur over your shoulder as it flung itself at Nate, and there, scuttling up along the wall, you just see this rotting hand moving like a spider. An arrow ready, you fire it, and you strike the hand dead center, and you pin it to the wall.
And just, I'm going to just bonus action disengage a little bit from anything that's kind of encroaching.
Give me a perception check.
Perception, yep. 13.
That's fine. Nate?
I mean, what the fuck was that light?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do we are we chilling here? Are we going or thank you.
I don't like. How are the guards looking?
Well, this gate has fallen. Like there's a wave of the dead moving into the city. They're kind of coming towards ye. So, I mean, technically, you're holding them here because they're going to eat ye first.
Yeah.
But they're going to spill out into the city.
We just need to give the city as much time as we can.
And in terms of what's coming towards us, how is that looking? Is there like a crowd of them? Or are they sort of dispersed out, or like
they're all kind of like they're not moving in like kind of like a trained military would. Mm-hmm. They're moving kind of mostly on instinct. What it seems. The only thing that's not moving right now is about 14 skeletons who are kind of doing a weird little like hypnotic shuffle in the pit below.
And that's
because of you. Okay, because that's muted.
Okay, so I can't really do another spell then, can I? Because
if you're holding them,
yeah,
there,
it is.
yeah. And you're holding 14 skeletons.
Okay, well that's fine then. Well, I will just whatever is closest to me. I'll.
There's the ghoul that was attacking Fia. If you want to lunge at her.
Yeah, why not? I'll go at her with my rapier. So that is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
And that is 4 damage.
As Fia dispatched the crawling hand, you lunge as you converse at the ghoul, at the gas, behind her. You leap and your rapier just plunges right into its stomach. It's like pushing it into like bog. Like there's little resistance with the skin and the bone. Like it's all kind of like pulp and mush inside. Yeah. From its mouth it leaks kind of thick black red ichor as its tongue laps it up, and its head twists towards you. Give me a perception check, please, Nate.
Okay. 13.
Everything's fine.
Okay.
Great. This is great.
As a bonus action, I'm just going to give Fia Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. 19 to hit, Nate, as the ghast reaches out and claws at you.
Yeah.
So give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That is a 14.
Takes 7 slashing damage.
Oh, God.
And as its broken nails slash into you, you feel the cut burn, but you manage to stave off the paralysis. 7 more ghasts, these long-limbed undead creatures, clamber out of the pit, followed by 9 ghouls. This swarm of crawling hands climbs this tiefling woman and tears her down. And they just start pulling at her. They just start tearing at her skin, twisting her arm, pulling at her face. She screams and dies. And then you see her body start to move.
Oh no.
Fia, you're up.
Because he's now in that space with that ghoul, I'm going to attack her.
Okay,
15.
that hits.
28 damage. we have to keep back up away from this. I think this is too much.
Yeah, I think we got to find others because we can't handle this.
As you fire another arrow and you strike the ghast, the arrow catches it right in the neck and it falls backwards, clutching at it, and then it stops moving as it falls to the ground dead. Fia, as you were telling Nate that you have to withdraw, you have to retreat, you hear screams coming from the southwest. There is a booming sound as the large wooden gates to the southwestern gate are just heaved open and torn from their constraints, their fixings in the wall, as the southwestern gate falls to the horde of the undead beyond. There's screams of retreat, get back to the command center. Nate, you're up.
I run.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm just taking...
And we heard that. We heard them saying retreat and run back to thing, did we? Or
Yes, well, the southwestern gate, so you're on the northwest, so it's people running by you that are...
okay, well, I suppose just join the...
Just join the run.
Give me an athletics check, both of you. Fia and Nate, please.
My dice are really hating me for these kind of checks recently.
4.
I know, on the...
Okay, so again, you're gonna run. It's not just... I was checking to see if you could outrun what was happening.
Yeah.
Nate, with Fia telling you to run and screams from the southwest to abandon the gates to get back to the command center, everyone to run and retreat. You turn as more and more dead pile into the pit and begin to kind of clamber out. Fia, you turn, and as you do, shuffling down kind of a small side street, you see the familiar figure of Hod just dragging itself slowly towards you. Still, the robes are stained black, as if they've absorbed like bog water or something. His hands are bound behind his back, and he just lumbers kind of slowly towards you.
She's just kind of shocked. She can't take her eyes off him.
It just continues to shuffle towards you. Overhead, you just hear a voice. What are you doing?
I look around.
There's nobody.
I don't know. And I look to the direction where Nate ran, and I just see him running away.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's kind of back out onto that main street where the two, where the road kind of split. Hod is probably 15 feet away from you now.
To get out of danger.
And as you continue to look around, moving across the roof of this, what you're pretty sure was a blacksmith's, you just hear footsteps on the tiles. And as you glance upwards, you see the twisted, almost broken form of a night hag, haunched down, and just this malevolent smile as strands of wet blonde hair stick to the skin, and these blood red eyes stare down at you. You came for my family. Now I come for yours.
Can I start running again?
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. 18.
You just start running as the night hag moves towards you. She didn't dart, she didn't run at you, she just started walking, and her claws just scratching into the walls beside you. You, having encountered one of these before, with 4 of you, it was impossible. With you on your own, you're going to die. And you run. You try to catch Nate as fast as you can, and there's just a laughter. You just hear... she disappears back into the shadows of the alleyway.
Shit.
The southern gate. We cut to the south gate where Sekhmet stands. She watches as a figure lumbers out of the dark, this gemstone glowing around their neck, as the twisted, short, fat frame of Father Sops greases its way up the road towards the southern gates that lay open, and Sekhmet begins to conjure energy around her once more. And as she does, Sops holds a hand out and his head falls forward slightly, and just jutting out of his neck there is the broken handle of a spear still sticking out of the wound as he shuffles forward, and the tips of his fingers glow green as he casts Ray of Sickness. 9 damage as this ray of twisted green energy just lashes out from Sops' hand, strikes Sekhmet. She crumples down and immediately just hurls as poison courses through her system. She is poisoned until the end of her next turn. Sops continues to walk forward. Everybody, give me a wisdom saving throw.
I got a 16.
Okay.
I got a natural 1.
Me too.
I got a 4.
4. Okay.
Kyle got a 12.
Everybody but Fia take 1 damage. Clodagh and Nate take 2. There's this high-pitched shrieking sound just emanating from Sops that just scratches through the city. Guards fall to their feet, civilians fleeing crumble, several fall over and just die. They just stop moving. And you all hear, as this scream rips through your mind. Hephaestus, Kyle.
I'm gonna do this. I got this one. I start like bouncing on my feet a little bit, and so Kyle's now next to me. Yeah, like okay. So I make sure I'm just stepped a little bit in front of him, and I cast Burning Hands at the ogre and all the other dudes. So it's a 15-foot cone.
So
Buttons.
the ghasts that are attacking the wall rolled a nat 20.
Okay, so they still take half damage.
So I'm gonna roll for the ogre. Just 12 against your.
13.
So it's gonna take the full 9.
Yes.
Right. So now here's the thing that happens next. Mm-hmm. You just throw your hands out, and there's a couple of sparks that just kind of. It's like someone's trying to, like, you know when you try to roll a lighter, then like, come on, you fucker. They're just kind of sparks kind of flitting up, and Kyle, you just see the concentration on Hephaestus' face as you feel. It's not even something that you have to, like, you know, hone in on. It just happens. There is a heat that just burns off of her, and from the sparks there is just this rolling cone of red and golden flames straight out between her hands. The ogre zombie kind of just swings over it, so it looks at it as it just gets blasted in the face. It is burnt to ash. Oh, well, if you could have done that from the start.
Open the gate!
A few of the guards, again, they fire arrows down, and then Una just backflips off the wall. You just, from the other side, Kyle and Hephaestus, you both hear, on the count of 3, you're going to need to just run, okay? You just don't fuck it up. She shoves the gate open with a kind of bit of strength as a guard overhead kind of like begins to turn, and she's trying to just squeeze it open enough for you to move through. Both of you are going to need to give me athletics checks.
I'm so good at that. 14.
11.
You're both lucky. Both of you barrel into the kind of the what remains of the wall of the dead here on the northern wall, and you hear another explosion in the distance as the southwestern gate falls as well. You squeeze past them and you feel hands kind of grabbing and groping at you, and immediately, like, Una just grabs you and just drags you in, and you up close. This woman is the head off of Via. Again, like, it's weird. Like, there's not that many Shader Kai Elf in Tezrab. As she grabs Kyle, she locks eyes with you for a moment. And I will send you a message James.
Ooh, secrets.
Secrets.
Kyle, you hear a voice in your head.
He smiles at her, flashing a toothy grin, and then mentally switching his focus, his telepathy from Hephaestus to Una, just says, "Business or pleasure?"
You just hear back, family.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck.
And she just starts to run. She's running back. She's running down this road towards the warehouse district and the slums.
He turns to Hephaestus and just says, "Any idea what's this Ella one? I saw you wincing. You felt that. You heard that, yes?"
Yeah. She was Okay, there's a lot going on. She was a barmaid who was also an old god. And there was a creepy old man. I don't really know why he's after us. He was just really sad. I don't think we did anything to piss him off this much.
Okay. Well, that's not quite the answer I was expecting, but it's the best I'm going to get. So, where next? I'm a tourist. Show me the sights.
Well, this is destruction. And I'm looking for my
So,
friends.
where do we start?
So, can we follow that lady with the purple hair? Actually, because she might be
for
going
sure.
somewhere
Okay.
important.
So you're just going to try and catch up to
With her,
this
not
woman.
sneaky, but not necessarily like, "Hey, wait for us."
Yeah,
Like,
you're just going to follow her.
Yeah.
Okay. Creeps. You're being creeps. The guards overhead, without the ogre zombie, the northwest wall is saved by the forces of Hephaestus Tenderson, aided by, of course, Kyle, Adoris,
did a little bit.
and Una Isidrim. So you're just going to take off?
Yeah.
My friend here seems to think that you might know where her friends are.
I don't know how she got outside the city so quickly, but she should know that her friends were at my son's house and my daughter's house. Just tell her to look for the Burbage and Sons pawn shop in the in Barefoot Alley.
Beautiful. Thank you. And then to Hephaestus, do you know a pawn shop? You need a pawn shop in an alley?
A pawn shop in an alley.
Burbage
In
and
the city,
Sons?
no.
Burbage and Sons, pawn shop, alley. That fine lady's daughter and son. That's where we want to go.
Okay, yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah.
And I just veer off, and if
Yeah.
she's not going in that direction, I'm just going in that direction instead.
She's not.
Okay.
But she's told you that.
Yeah, so I just veer off that way instead.
Yeah. You find Hephaestus, a lot of the city is completely, particularly in the slum district, a lot of the buildings aren't as well maintained. A lot of them came down or are severely damaged in whatever blast. Whether it was the first one, the sun one, the other one. There's been a lot of explosions. And for once, none of them were Marilla. As
far as we know.
She's very upset right now. She's like, to blow something up. But you dart in and out, and as you do, you cross Marilla, she has a wheelbarrow, and there's an old man in it, and there are like 4 small little halfling children also stuffed into the barrel, and she's just pushing it, and she's got 2 empty bags at either side of her. There's a bit of a jangle, and she's just move it, and she's just wheeling past you.
I don't stop, but like on my way up to her, I'm just like, Marilla, you good?
She does that weird thing where she goes past you and she stops and she's kind of like still going and she just eyeballs you, and then she whoa wait Hephaestus.
Yeah. What the fuck, Marilla? We don't have time for this.
Come here.
What?
Come here for a second.
I lean over to her.
And she just slaps you right across the face.
I just whip back and I'm like, Marilla, what the fuck was that?
Oh, there she is. Okay, you're the real one.
What?
Oh, that crazy ex-girlfriend of yours has been like posing as you. It's
What?
to be fair, it was kind of funny. She does a really good impression.
What? Are you... What?
She starts to kind of push the wheelbarrow again.
No, where is everybody?
Fia and Nate are they're helping with the fight. I think they're fighting. Hephaestus, I've got things to do.
Okay, all right. Are you okay? Are you?
I'm just wrecked. She does. She looks like she's running on adrenaline.
I just give her like a little slap on the shoulder. I go, "Be careful," and then I just keep running.
She does not know how to deal with that. You do. What do you she just. That's the nicest Merlot whistle call I've ever been to.
It's amazing.
I mean, she did slap you.
Thanks.
As you round the corner into Barefoot Alley, you just see a small gang of skeletons shuffling towards you and Kyle down a narrow alleyway. You both have one action before we roll for initiative.
Can an action be to run the other way?
You can just run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can we just? I mean, okay. So we run up, and the place is like fucked.
Well, if you want to get to to get to Burbage and Sons, you have to get through these. If you run, you're going to be running either towards the market district or towards the docks. Those are your options. And Marilla told you that she sent, Fia and Nate went to the market square.
Yeah, so we'll probably just dip off that way instead.
Kyle, you're going to follow?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Sure. You pass more people who are just kind of fleeing, and soldiers are now kind of beginning to fill up the streets here and are trying to stop the dead from hoarding in. And as we move across the city over the market square where Fia and Nate are racing towards, and now Hephaestus and Kyle are also serendipitously racing towards, we cut to the southern gate once more, where Sekhmet, having been blasted by Ray of Sickness, scrambles upwards, throws her hands out. From an alleyway, Quillo watches as Sops has kind of stopped at the gate. Sekhmet brings her hands together, like her fingertips touching. A whirling ball of fire just begins to spin around itself, and then it spreads violently and rapidly outwards as she casts burning hands straight towards Sops. She runs right at him, casting the spell. These are the best, worst dice ever.
Did you just fucking kill Sops?
No,
Okay.
He rolled a nat 20 on his dex save. She sprints right at him, and her voice just screeches across the open streets of the arts district, and the flames just wash right towards Sops, who stands there, and the gemstone floats upwards, and the flames just wash over either side of him as the magic is just repelled, and the gates are cindered. They're scorched and blackened as he casts the spell away, or some entity casts the spell around him, and he laughs. As Sekhmet approaches, he lunges out and just grabs her hand, and immediately wounds open up the whole way up along her arm, her neck, her face. It's as if an invisible knife just slashes at her. She lets out a scream and a cry. Sekhmet goes down. Having held his action in defense, Quillo blurs out of the shadows, and from his side he draws a small, sharp blade. It glows blue as he whispers into it, and he puts it straight back into its scabbard. And Sops takes a step back. Blood trickles from his ears, and Quillo grabs Sekhmet and runs.
Well, it doesn't take an idiot to see that those two are shacking up.
Miss, I really should just be getting back to my job and helping the other guests find their seats. It's getting quite...
Wait, I'm getting way ahead of myself. A whole load of other stuff happened 5 weeks earlier. Let me break it down for you in a series of disjointed, yet seemingly well-connected narratives.
That's it for this week's episode. You were listening to Amber as Hephaestus, Sam as Nathaniel Obsidian McKnight, Louise as Fia, James as Kyle, and special guest Eilish as Clodagh Medamoon. A big thank you, as always, to Ghost of Red Mountain for our amazing theme song Haunted. Make sure you check out their YouTube channel. I'm Declan, your Dungeon Master. We're back in 2 weeks for another episode. Until then, why not check out our Discord server, D8 Dungeon? You can back the show for some sweet rewards on Patreon, leave us a heartfelt review wherever you listen to your podcasts, or tweet us your thoughts and emotions at D8 Dungeon.
Tell me why I'm so alone when I know you're here with me.
This season, we are doing special shout outs to our supporters over on Patreon. If you'd like to get a special message from an NPC or a member of the cast, well, you know what to do. You can check us out on Patreon, searching Romancing the Dungeon. And we kick this off with a rather sweet, if not slightly sinister message from everyone's favourite Shaderkai rogue to another book lover.
Hi, David. I saw in the library you had a book out that I was dying to read. You know the one, 50 Mates of Fae? So I saw it on the Up and Coming series board in the library months ago, but every time I went to borrow it, you had taken it out. So I said I would cut out the middleman and borrow it from you. Just so you know, your hiding place in your wardrobe is not the best. You might need to work on that. Now, I probably know you didn't notice it was gone. I could not put it down. I can see why you keep taking it out. I would really like to know what you think of it. Leave a reply to me. I'll find it. Thanks, Fia. P.S. I see that you're in the waitlist for the second one. I'll come around at some point to borrow it too. Don't worry about hiding it away. I'll find it.